Hello, my name's Callum Jubb.
I'm Sam Roberts.
I'm Jenny Jiwon Han.
I'm Laura Iminji.
And we're going to be doing a presentation on internet piracy. Our question is, who are the pirates, the commercial businesses that steal and sell the creator's work under exclusive license agreements, or the users who copy and distribute the things they like? Here you can see our contents page. We'll have a definition of pirates and piracy. I'll be talking about exclusive rights agreements.
And I'll be talking about internet piracy on personal use.
Well, my part is the internet piracy on commercial use.
And I'll be talking about the DVD piracy situation in Asia.
You can see the definition of piracy that we're going to be using. Piracy is defined as the unauthorized use or reproduction of another's work. And pirates are a person who appropriates or reproduces the work of another for profit without permission, usually in contravention of patent or copyright. My name's Callum Jubb, and I'll be talking about exclusive rights agreements. An exclusive right in legal terms is essentially it gives someone the right or power to perform an action or acquire a benefit, or deny others the right to perform the same action or acquire the same benefit. There are two instances where you really use exclusive rights. First would be in research contracts, with companies like Apple, Microsoft, pharmaceutical companies, and other companies that would carry out research. The employees that they hire to carry out this research would all have to sign a contract which would include an exclusive rights clause or agreement, so that these employees, if they create something, so if they work for an Apple and create a new battery, they cannot claim that that product they create as their own. They cannot withhold it from the company or sell it to the company's competitors. In a sense, this is fair, since these companies, they provide the funding for this research. They gather all of these researchers in one place because they often work as a group, and they essentially make this research possible. The second instance where you would use it is on a user rights agreement that you often sign on websites. So, do you ever actually read these user rights agreements? Well, these websites, such as Facebook and the like, they have lots of features, and some of these websites you can use some features, but to use the rest, you have to create an account. And in the process of creating that account, you have to agree to a user agreement. These agreements will often have a clause, an exclusive rights clause, which essentially says that anything you upload, so on Facebook pictures, YouTube videos and whatnot, or posts on these forums, that information then belongs to the website. So they can do whatever they want with it. Some examples of these agreements are Facebook, PhotoBucket, and YouTube. You can see them here. These websites, well, I suppose the main reason people use these websites is simply because they don't know. It's a single clause, and most of the time people don't read these agreements. They just say yes, accept, and then go on. But with Facebook and YouTube, the reason they still use them, even if they are aware, is that because they're such innovative sites. They do something that lots of other websites do, but they do it in a way that's just done so well. They make great use of technology. And another thing would be faith. None of these websites have really used this information in a way that's publicly known that has caused harm. So as far as we were, they haven't misused this information.
Hi, this is Jenny, and I'm going to talk about internet piracy on personal use. Copying and distributing any copyrighted material through the internet is illegal and is called piracy. Having any of these pirated material in your possession and downloading from a third party who doesn't have the right to offer these downloads is illegal. Many pirated software packages comes complete with viruses. The cost to repair damages done by some viruses can be incredible, makes your computer useless in some cases, and much data lost. Pirated copies of software affect everyone. These illegal copies are not showing the companies more that people steal the program, the higher the cost of the program in retail. And copying these disks will become more difficult. P2P networking essentially enables users to link their computers to other computers all across the network. An estimated 2.6 billion music files are downloaded through P2P networks each month, and more than 400,000 movies are downloaded each day. Impact of online file sharing brought the 26% fall in global CD sales between 1999 and 2003. The original Napster was an online music service that enabled users to trade digital music files. Users of Napster argued that Napster was a tool for music sharing, not stealing. However, the music industry disagreed by saying what Napster is doing is legally and morally wrong. Several record labels sued Napster in December 1999, and Napster was eventually shut down in July 2001. However, other file sharing services emerged to take Napster's place. For example, LimeWire, BitTorrent, Kazaa, iMesh, and Freenet. As I talked before, it is illegal to distribute any copyrighted material without permission from the copyrighted holder. P2P networks can expose your computer and files to millions of other users on the network and also expose your computer to infectors. You may unknowingly open up the contents of your entire hard drive for anyone to see and possibly download your private information. In September 2004, the FBI created an anti-piracy warning seal, which was specifically created to deter illegal practice and to increase public awareness of the penalties associated with piracy. In August 2006, the FBI has authorized use of the FBI anti-piracy seal and warning by members of the associations listed here. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act, passed in 1996, extended protections to various digital media and criminalized acts intended to gain unauthorized access to or allow distribution of copyrighted material.
Hi, this is Laura. I will introduce the Internet piracy for commercial use in three parts: the main form, the effect, and the measurements taken to prevent piracy. Now let's move to the first part, the form. Well, there are several forms of the Internet piracy, but here I will only introduce two forms. Well, the first one is to offer counterfeits and sell it to suspecting customers. Well, people often copy software onto a media disk and sell it with similar package. Well, the second one is to induce people join in the online club to collect member fees through providing download links. Well, this mostly happened in game clubs or music clubs. They provide easy access to download links without charging actual fees from their members. Well, the effect of the Internet piracy is very profound. Well, the revenue of the company will decline, and this will frustrate the individual developer and also the company, who offer the large amount of time and money to develop the software and technology. Well, here is an example that the sales of the company declined by the Internet piracy. Well, service in all major markets prove this is a major factor in the fall in world music sales, down 7% in 2003 and down 14% in 3 years. Well, due to the profound effect of the Internet piracy, many companies and governments and organizations take measures to prevent the Internet piracy. Now here, I'll take BSA for example, which is short for Business Software Alliance. Well, let's see this graph. Well, in the first half year of 2008, BSA shut down more than 18,000 online auctions offering individual software products, and in the same period of 2009, 19,000 auctions were removed due to BSA's requirements. And BSA continues to expand its ability to request takedowns of suspicious online software auctions removals increased 4% from 2008 to 2009. Well, here I will finish my part with Danny Furious Wars, who is convicted software pirate by the BSA. He said that these companies have put a lot of time and money into research and development. It's their intellectual property. People think that copyright infringement is not a theft, but you're stealing somebody's property and you're doing it for your own gain. Well, this is my part.
I'm Sam Roberts. Over the years, the piracy of DVDs has transformed from a hobby for home-based movie buffs to a genuine organised crime money machine. In some Asian countries, as much as 90% of DVDs are pirated fakes. Indonesia, China and the Philippines are amongst the worst offenders. It is estimated that Hollywood loses $600 million per annum to Asia. Closer to home, the Australian film industry is estimated to lose about $200 million a year. A strong blow for the 500,000 Australians working in the film and television industry, as well as the 2,500 video stores, of which 90% are small businesses. Many organisations have initiated advertising campaigns against film piracy. Australia's You Wouldn't Steal a Handbag campaign was directed predominantly at internet piracy and its users, while elsewhere organisations have even resorted to poorly backed claims of DVD piracy funding terrorism in order to deter potential customers and users. The DVD climate in China is as dire as any nation. While tickets to the cinema in Beijing cost about $10 on average, pirated DVDs of the latest releases can be readily found on the street for about $1 a DVD. The current Chinese economic climate, added to the size of the pirated DVD problem, makes an effective crackdown on DVD piracy logistically difficult and potentially politically unfeasible. Sales occur so commonly and openly on the street that it's difficult to notice any illicit trade. Street vendors are difficult to catch in the act because when they see us coming, explained one anonymous Beijing police officer, they load their DVDs into a suitcase and soon vacate the area before we have a chance to confront them. It's even more difficult to catch registered businesses in the act of selling pirated goods, as they must be warned days in advance of a visit by the authorities. This rule allows the store owners to remove any offending inventory before the check. DVD street vendors would also argue that any crackdown would be futile, as the piracy would still remain if it was not for them, albeit in a different form. A street vendor in Beijing had this comment: "I don't know why the Chinese government should crack down on people who are selling pirated DVDs, because if people didn't buy them from us, they would download it from the internet. If we don't sell it to them, they will not buy it at a regular price, so why not let us feed our families from the profits that we make selling DVDs?" One major company in Warner Brothers has succumbed to the difficulty of piracy prevention, instead opting to stay competitive in the Chinese market by selling its DVDs just weeks after their theatrical debut at a reduced price as low as $1.25, almost matching the pirated copies.
Hello again. So basically, for the summary and conclusion of our presentation, the definition of piracy is really the unauthorized use or reproduction of another's work. Permission has been given to companies allowing them to use another's work in terms of exclusive rights agreements, so that really doesn't meet the definition since it's all legal. While companies like Facebook and YouTube, once again, they have legal permission to do it. It may not sound, the concept may not sound very ethical, but once again, it is legal. While downloading of files for personal use, they're committing a crime, but they're not making a profit from it. Whereas the people who pirate these things and then sell them for a profit, that pretty much perfectly meets the definition of piracy. And so our group came to the conclusion that these people are the real pirates. One concept that we did kind of think of is the fact that if the technology out there is available to copy these movies and games and music and then sell them for such a cheap price, why do these companies not do something similar, like Apple with iTunes, make their goods available online so it's much more convenient and then sell it at a much cheaper price? Once again, I'm Callum Jubb.
I'm Sam Roberts.
Jenny Jiwanhan.
Laura Yimingqi.
And thank you for listening to our information systems presentation.